Hello and welcome to another installment of JSVeterans.com videos. As the lead developer, my name is Gasper. Let's get started, shall we? This video is designed to highlight the units in Star Kinesis. There are in fact a few things to keep in mind when discussing this topic. One of the main things is the simple fact that the units are dynamically created upon loading, and there are several other factors that are involved in their creation. For example, the rank and armor systems are involved directly in the visual appearance of every single type of unit, and the slot system tends to affect the quantity of the units. The least affected type of units within Star Kinesis are the advanced mods. These really only change visually from the increase in rank, but their slot value does affect their active abilities, primarily for the duration of the active buffs they provide. So let's start there with advanced mods. Advanced mods are active abilities that you can equip to any carrier based off the slots allotted by the chassis. For example, a tier 1 carrier may only have 2 advanced mod slots, but a tier 4 carrier has 4. These in effect create buttons within your UI system that allow you to use their abilities during gameplay. Generally, advanced mods buff the statistics of your entire team, not just your own carrier or your ships. And it is a base modifier that dramatically will impact all of your units in real time across the network. Both the rank and the slot value affect directly the capabilities of the advanced mods, whether it be the duration or the potency of the buff that they provide. But from a visual standpoint, only the rank affects their armor and the model itself. The armor is something that I'll cover in this video here shortly, but in effect it adds a one-time use bonus to your hit points. Next we have standard mods. Standard mods are the bread and butter of any carrier. These range in a wide variety, everything from non-combat bonuses to non-combat actions to ship bays to turrets. These have the biggest visual differences when it comes to slot modifiers and rank modifiers. Individual modules are actually added as the slot modifier goes up. The rank modifier will add bonus armor as well as increasing the statistics of that mod. Certain things like medium ships don't outright add 3 ships for 3 slot mods. Due to game balance, you can only fit 2 ships in a 3 slot standard mod. And you might feel like the potency skyrockets as you add slots. And this would be true, but the counterweight to that is accuracy. The higher slots you have, the lower your accuracy is. Imagine it is the same amount of CPUs being strained for targeting, while ranks and various other CPU mods are a counterweight to that negative value. So even though you have a rank 1 3-slot turret system on a mod, it doesn't mean it's 3 times as potent. And that fundamental concept stands true for every single type of modification in the game. Increasing slots increases the potential, increasing rank increases the values, but the slot bonuses are actually a counterweight to the potency of that specific mod. Now let's move on to the integrated bays. These are in effect just an integrated fighter base system. This is the only type of base system that'll replenish fighters if you lose all of them in combat. These bays too are affected directly by slots by giving you additional fighters, and by rank by giving you additional armor and cap value. Cap value is sort of a capacitor system that's able to shunt energy into the mod's hit point pool. In effect, imagine this as a shield, and while the shield is active, it regenerates at a significantly higher rate. There's a multitude of buffs that directly impact just your cap. Everything from regeneration to the total. The only thing is that once your cap is depleted and your hit point pool is now being taxed, those bonuses are negated. And until your hit point pool is back to 100%, all of your cap bonuses and its regeneration are paused. This largely draws on the concept of player builds. If you're a person that likes to utilize hit and run tactics, who likes to make unique builds, really pay attention to the damage within their units, you can very easily create a potent setup that ensures you're essentially regenerating more than twice as fast with twice as big of a hit point pool as other players that don't go down this path. So getting back to integrated bays, the biggest limitation for them is the fact that they can only house interdictor class fighters or corvettes. So let's move on to launch bays. These are able to house any type of ship available to a carrier. The bigger the ship, the fewer there are. A full wing of corvettes is not statistically imbalanced against one battlecruiser. They are weighed out in such a way that even though the statistics aren't the same, they are equivalent. Specific statistics is something I'll cover in a later video, as this is also a vast topic. Launch bays are also directly impacted by the slot statistic and the rank statistic. Again, the rank increases potency, things like armor plates, and slots increase the quantity of ships generally. In certain cases like the battlecruiser, slots can't increase the quantity of ships. It does in fact boost the statistics of the battlecruiser further. A similar concept to the advanced mods. Currently there are 7 ship classes implemented in the game. These 7 are interdictors, corvettes, frigates, gunships, destroyers, cruisers, and battlecruisers, or heavy cruisers. One major thing that you should note is that turrets are also a separate entity in this game, and that different ships in different types of bays by different factions and different ranks with different slot values will actually have different types of turrets equipped, whether they be higher, lower ranks, or different categories. Generally, they stay true to the faction in regards to certain bonuses, but it's something that you should definitely take note of. When watching gameplay videos, you'll notice that everything seems to have these circles rotating around them. These denote 2 specific things. 1, the size, 2, the rank by the colors. Since carriers come in 5 ranks, there are 5 total colors: green, blue, purple, orange, and gold. Colors denoting rings are also the lens flares on many of the turrets and ships. But on these rings, you'll also see that one side has a letter and the other has a box that's awfully similar to one of the boxes in the UI interface when you're looking at any items or ships. This denotes small, medium, and large, and this is the most relevant statistic in game. When you look at any turret in the crafting or vendor system, you'll see 2 boxes in the top row. These 2 boxes denote their primary and secondary targeting capability. Every weapon system in the game can only target one for full damage, a second for half damage, and it cannot target or shoot at the third type. The concepts behind this will be explained in a combat video tutorial later, but understand this is one of the most relevant statistics and it affects every turret, ship, and mod in the game. It's also important to note that the majority of turrets are considered small targets. They also have their own health bars, armor systems, and cap generators. Turret systems come in 3 primary categories: ballistic, explosive, and energy. Faction bonuses and statistics will be something covered in a later video as well. But needless to say, within each category there are 3 primary weapon system types, and within each primary weapon system type there are 3 sub-weapon ranks. And even though these are just denoted as different ranks, they have a completely different visual appearance, different particle effects, different particle weights, and different particle color systems. So aside from visual appearance, with just about every single weapon system in the game, you have 3 different ways of being able to identify the rank quickly and effectively: through the UI circle, through the lens flares, and through the particle effect color scheme, as that is also consistent through every weapon system. I should also mention that between the 2 separate factions and the AI factions, everything is unique minus the turret systems. Those tend to be somewhat similar in visual appearance. It's also worth mentioning that this is just what the game is going to be released with. The intention is to add additional factions, dozens of different types of ships, dozens of different types of sub-turrets, and dozens of different types of AI units. So I hope this helps shed some light on the units in Star Kinesis. Thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and take care.